Welcome to another Dental Growth Partners podcast, number 7, with myself, Leon Bartrop, and Dr. Murray Pratt. If you like these videos, please subscribe. Please leave a comment down. Also, if you've got any questions or anything, put them in the comments down and we'll be glad to answer them. And what are we going to talk about this podcast, Murray?
So today we're going to talk about how to run a successful Invisalign Open day. So we've got 10 top tips on how to run your best day. We're going to talk about those from a clinical perspective, so how we actually do it in the clinic and all the sort of elements of it, and then also covering the kind of marketing theories behind why these things kind of are important, and to the patients from your perspective as like a marketing expert, why each thing is really important.
It's I mean, we're very organised this time. We've actually written them, we've got them printed out, so we can actually go through them sort of thing. But yeah, it's when we first started doing this type of thing and speaking to other people who've done open days, and obviously your Invisalign rep as well, speak to them, get everyone involved. It was like half of the points there you think, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. But you just need to put it down. You need to put a list down. You need to go through the list in chronological order. And it's not just, these 3 will work. It's like the whole 10 together work. And it's not an exhaustive list. You can add 11 and 12 if you want to, but these are just tips we found work really well to make your Invisalign Open Day a success and get some revenue on the board.
Yeah, and I think that's so I guess one thing people wonder is why do people run these open days? And I guess from a marketing point of view, that's quite an interesting sort of thing, because in dentistry we're obviously offering treatments all the time, but having like an event enables you to kind of structure a bit of a different sort of marketing angle, so you can basically advertise the event. It also creates like a special offer, so for packages of treatment, which like we're talking about Invisalign is always really sort of marketed as a package product. So it gives you you can run a special on an event if you sign up on the day, so that creates like a sort of urgency to take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So for people who think about, I might do it, might do it now, I might do it next year, if you provide them like an opportunity to kind of get extra value, then they kind of go ahead with it and start that treatment then, rather than think about it later.
It's all about a value proposition, isn't it? It's about you have one thing you need to do with Invisalign and any sort of these sort of packages is you have a core offer which is running all the time.
Yeah.
So we run summer offer. It's very competitively priced. You get some nice extras in there, that type of thing. But then you do this offer, this Invisalign offer, and you get more.
Yeah.
So it's it's a value proposition, and you'll get more money off. You're getting a lot more incentive. You need people to sign up on that day.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's all about getting to sign up on that day. Getting to start the process.
Yeah, commit to actually starting rather than because often people just do things. Other things you can spend your money on, so you might do the whole day, do other things instead, where it's actually, if I'm going to get that much benefit, I'll go ahead with it. So I think, so when we got 10 points to go through, how to structure it. Each one's got a particular sort of marketing angle, and then it's got I'll sort of cover on the clinical aspects, how you kind of deliver it in the practice. So we've got the setting up of the open day, so you're gonna choose you'll set clear objectives. So as a clinic, you'll kind of know roughly what your kind of your average numbers are for a year, and if you're running these events, you've really got to sort of be quite clear with what you're trying to get out of them, because they're going to cost you time, money, sort of effort to set up. So you want to get results, otherwise can't pay for your staff's time, can't pay for the extra ad spend, etc. So so part of the setup, you're going to choose a date. I think there's the key bits around that. So if you want to choose a date which one suits the type of patients you're trying to appeal to, so it can be a Saturday. That works quite well, but you need to be careful that it doesn't clash with a local event. So if you're in a city, just check there isn't something big that is going on, like a football match or like a horse race or something on the same day, which will disrupt your attendance.
So I'd say the first thing, number one, was sort of 1 and 2 there.
Oh, right.
The first one is set clear objectives, i.e., like Murray said, is how many bookings do you expect to get on the day?
Yeah.
So target your existing patients.
Yeah.
How many you think you're going to get, that type of thing.
So you're going to have like diary slots. So the way it's structured is you're going to have like, say, half-an-hour visits, and they're going to come in and see the TCO first to have like a little bit of intro to the practice or start that conversation. Then they're going to see the nurse do the scanning, and then they're passed on to a different room to see the dentist. So the dentist then can essentially look at their like malocclusion, as we call it, but like how the problems are, and diagnose it, and like discuss whether it's suitable for them. And then they're going to be basically given their treatment plan. So you're setting that whole thing up, but then you've got to work out how many slots have you got available.
Yeah.
So like maybe you might have capacity to do like 20 in a day, or if you've got multiple dentists and big premises, you might do like 40, etc. But you're like setting that number that you're like, right, if we get 20 people in and say half of them go ahead with it, that would be a success. And you've got to brief the team.
And your target audience could be very different depending where your practice is.
Yeah.
Like around here, Forever Dental Skin, they're a lot more older, a lot more disposable income, whereas probably up the road, Epsom or wherever it is, they're probably much younger crowd. So you're targeting a younger sort of audience, or a mixture of both.
Or both, yeah. But you want to set it up so that it's basically set up to appeal to the right people.
Yes.
Who
So
like,
set those objectives.
It's like setting up a party. It's like make sure that you're setting it up for the people who are going to enjoy it. And then we got
number two, which Murray really did
straight on,
which he touched on, was choose the right date and time.
Yeah.
So a Wednesday, 10 a.m. is probably, or 9 a.m. is probably not the one, because your target audience are taking their children to school, or it's people at work.
Yeah.
But like you said, Saturday is probably your best day. Saturday and Sunday, don't discount Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's a good
as
day.
Well, or have both days.
Yeah.
It depends on how busy you think you're going to be, how many people registering for it.
Yeah, you can open up more time. So I'd say if you're doing a Saturday and you've like fully booked your 20 slots, then speak to your team members and say, can you do a favour? Can you do a day on a Sunday to make? Because if you've got that momentum, you definitely want to sort of extend the hours and get fill your slots. Obviously, you want to fill more. But the only thing with that is make sure that date doesn't clash with anything locally is a key one that can really kill an open day.
Yeah, like a fete or something, or
even school fair or like something like this can really knock out like a lot of people's availability. For us here, it's like very family area, but like summer holidays are like a big thing. So like
people might be away.
You try and call people to like get them in. They're like, man, I'm on holiday. I'm looking after the kids. Grandparents looking after the kids. Like everything sort of revolves around the kids' like school schedule.
Yeah.
But also, if you run a Saturday, the patients who sort of pick that, they're probably going to expect to get their treatment on a Saturday. So if you don't run a Saturday clinic, you're running a bit of a risk.
Think of that, to be fair.
So this is like from a sort of patient satisfaction point of view, you make sure if you run the open day, you're either explicit that it's a Saturday but the treatment's done on a weekday, or if you don't do Saturdays, then think about maybe doing an evening clinic, because and try and do an evening clinic to meet those patients or for their treatment, because if you don't, they'll go, well, I signed up on a Wednesday evening because I'm always available on Wednesday evening and you're never available. And so this going to be like an instant sort of like problem.
You should if your practice, if you've been there, if you're been there a while, you sort of know what your patients sort of routine they are, the area, what they're. It's all things to take into consideration.
So for us, like a Saturday works well because the patients are sort of out and about shopping in the morning. So Saturday morning is generally a good time. Then they might have like sports and stuff to go to in the afternoon. But we also do a twice a month Saturday clinic. So then if they do sign up for treatment, then they've got a Saturday slot available to have it done. So that kind of appeals to that. And then anyone who's available weekdays generally will still come in on a Saturday,
or an evening, maybe
because it's in the village. But you can also do an evening here because of the family factor. People are generally looking after their kids in the evening, so it's not necessarily as good.
It's all practice relative, isn't it? Area relative.
But if you're like a city practice or up in London, then the evening will probably work good because people do it on the way home from work. So So pick your date and choosing the right time is like critical, really, just to make sure it like fits in with the people that you're trying to get in.
It's probably the most critical thing, isn't it, when you think about it? Otherwise, you're not going to have anyone.
If it's incompatible, it's probably like a killer for the whole event. It's a bit, So, but it's quite easy to get right. So
number 3, promote the event early and widely. So you really want to avoid the week before or the night before saying, oh, do you know, we've got an Invisalign Open Day tomorrow. You want to be doing it a month, 6 weeks, I would say, from a marketing point of view. Promoting it through social media, through your email list, in practice as well, with like a nice little corner. We've got all the information there, nice banner, leaflets, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, because you've got people who are coming in to your practice all the time, so they're sort of they love to hear, you know, and they also then go and spread that information. So if someone they speak to is saying, well, you know, I'm thinking about this, and they sort of like your practice and they've seen all the in-house promotional material, and they'll sort of refer. You won't really ever sort of track that down, but that definitely has an effect. So yeah, your email list is one of your sort of best assets to
it
sort of
often gets so overlooked as well.
Yeah, everyone's sort of chasing new people, but actually your existing list is your most powerful.
Yeah, definitely very powerful
sort of asset, really, in terms of making people aware that there's something going on. So we say sort of try and let them know about a month. Well, start building
6 weeks. I'd say a month, 6 weeks. Don't forget, if you've got this core offer going on, you want to start. If you're running Facebook ads and Google ads, and you're doing emails about your core summer or winter Invisalign offer, then you want to tone that down beforehand, or even 3 to 4 weeks. Stop those adverts and then start running new adverts about your open day that you've got coming up, which has got to be obviously better than your offer. So people go, well, I've seen they're sort of, you're warming them up with the normal offer. That looks good, that's a nice price. Then you've got special open day, you know, you've got an extra £1,000 or an extra few bit, or whatever it is, you know, whatever offer you work out. And it's like, oh, I mean, it's getting even better. I think, I'll put my name down for that. It's around the corner, going Saturday morning, that type of thing. So I would say, slow down your normal offer, ads, Google, emails, that type of thing, and then ramp up your Facebook, Instagram, Meta ads, Google ads. 4 to 6 weeks. 4 weeks is okay to do it from there. Run the ads about 4 weeks out from the actual open day.
And then so then what, number 4?
Number 4, offer an exclusive incentive.
So we sort of touched on that already, but the way we structure it, we've got our sort of normal package, which has kind of like a list of bonus things included, and then essentially on the open day there's an extra £200 off. So that's kind of an incentive if you're looking for that extra benefit, then you get that. And we also have a sort of extra bonus on a special offer on composite bonding, so that ends up sort of being about another sort of half price on composite bonding, essentially. So if you want to do Invisalign plus composite bonding, it'd be good to sort of wait until the offer day, and that's kind of how we sort of structure it. So we let the TCO sort of, if anyone's coming in for the normal sort of service, they're always like made aware that there is an open day, and that because otherwise you get people, you know, finding out that they sign up for something and then 2 weeks later there's a special offer that they didn't get told about.
That's why it's very important to slow down your normal offers, your normal advertising about a month before. That will stop that crossover of people going, like you say, oh, I just signed up for this 2 weeks ago, and if I'd waited 2 weeks. So make sure your TCO receptionist, everyone's genned up that, you know, to give them that, like, oh yeah, if you wait a week or so, we book you, or 2 weeks, you'll get an extra. So, and I think it's a good selling point as well. It's like, oh, they're looking after me. It's trust. It's, you know, it's all
and you want your patients to get the best value that your practice offers. So that's fine. But some people, you know, if say your next open day is in 3 months' time, they don't want to wait. They just want to get started.
There's no point there.
They just want to get on with it. So they'll not wait. Whereas for other people, when they're sort of looking to kind of get the best price, they'll wait. So different people are sort of in marketing kind of and pricing are sort of motivated by different things. Some people, they want to get on with it, and they're happy with the routine sort of offer is a good offer, so they'll just happy to go ahead with it to get started as quickly as possible, and other people like it might be beneficial for them to wait to either get the added bonuses at a better price, or they just want to want to take advantage of that.
What it does also as well, thinking about it from a marketing point of view, is that that patient will say, look, if you wait a week, 2 weeks, we're doing an open day, you're going to get a better offer, it's going to cost you less, you can get more extras, etc. But then they go away for those 2 weeks and they say to their friends, God, that's what they're looking after me, they're trusted, they tell their friends, look, I'm getting an extra £200, they told me to wait, I haven't come across that before. Normally it's the hard sell, it's like, you know, they're going to go away within 2 or 3 weeks and tell other people about what a good offer they've got. So they're spreading the word for you.
Yeah, and that's a great tip as well if you're having those conversations with people about, you know, potentially having Invisalign treatment or whatever you're running your open day on, and then let's say, well, have you got a friend that you want to bring to the open day? Because that's a really powerful way of accessing sort of more people. Because often if they're starting and they've got another friend who's also talking about it or been talking about it for a few years, then they'll invite them and sort of promote it
good deal
for you because it's a good deal. So so that's a little tip.
Number 4.
So number 5.
Pre-qualify and book appointments. So have the patients book prime time slots to avoid crowding. So be organised.
Yeah.
You know, work out with your TCO how long you need realistically to be able to go through everything. You know, normally it's about 30 to 45 minutes.
30 minutes per slot, and then essentially the patient's going to be like welcomed by a receptionist as they arrive. Then they're going to be sort of introduced to the TCO. TCO is going to sort of get the history and sort of is trained to have that conversation. Then be passed on to the nurse who's going to do the scanning and the record collection. So the photos, the scanner, all that stuff in one room. Here we've got luckily multiple rooms, so then dentist is another room, so then they can get the scans up on a PC and run the sort of simulator and sort of have the clinical chat about, you know, with the scan data, kind of is this appropriate, and then essentially that then categorise like what the patient needs, and then it's sort of passed on to back to receptionist to say, well, this is the package, this is, you know, what you're expecting. If you want to take advantage of the offer, pay a deposit, like, and then
you're locked in there.
So that's non-refundable deposit.
I would say also with that, taking that in mind, is that you want to pre-qualify them before you get to that stage. Now, a lot of the advertising, the lead forms, and the automations which we run through voice AI and through WhatsApp AI, you know, that sort of thing, pre-qualifies them.
Yeah, so that's from clicking on potential like adverts or walk-in, then the pre-qualification is basically
TCO as well.
Expectation on what they're expecting cost-wise, like what, you know, this is the offer. Do they need finance? Because that's sort of like a different sort of whole different conversation. Is it right for them? Basically, are they near the clinic? Like pre-qualification really is just like, are you near the clinic? Like near enough that you come for 10 appointments? Is the price that we're sort of able to work at, is that within your sort of budget sort of area?
Offer finance, obviously, 0% finance.
All these sort of little conversations to basically work out. So you know, this is actually worth you booking in for. If you're not, then we can have give you more information and come to the next one. But if those slots you're booking, you want to make sure those patients are kind of, you know, ready to go ahead, basically.
Yeah, because it's a two-sided coin, isn't it? You don't want to waste their time.
No.
And you don't want to waste your time, because those slots, the whole setup and the cost of everything, those half an hour slots, what you don't want is half the people to get there and it'd be like, oh, I thought it was cheaper than this, or oh, I can get better, or whatever it is, and then like you lose half the day. So you need to pre-qualify as much as possible with your TCO, with your adverts, with your conversations, with your email, whatever, before they get there.
Yeah, and it comes back to sort of, you've set your objectives at the start, and if part of pre-qualifying the bookings or people who booked in is like you've only got 20 slots, so you need to make sure that you get outcomes, because you're investing quite heavily in the whole event. So that's kind of a key step really. And that probably moves on to point 6 quite well.
Point 6, train your team. So, and that's everybody. That's the dentist, that's your TCO, that's your receptionist, and anybody that comes into contact with any potential patient or patient, that they should all be genned up about associate dentist, everybody, about that particular open day.
Yeah.
So, because you will get the odd patient go, oh, I see that about the open day. What? Oh, I don't really know about that. Doesn't sound very professional.
Patients ask
You're going to lose a potential patient for the open day, for the Invisalign treatment. So, train your team, really, really important. I would say that's probably after the choose the right day and time, I'd say probably that's the second most important one, which gets overlooked a lot, I would say, as well.
Yeah, and that's the key part of running any clinic, is just an ongoing process to make sure that the treatments you offer, your team are really, really knowledgeable about what it's all about, and like all the steps involved, all the costs involved, all the little benefits that your practice has, because they might ask the dentist, but it's really very common that they sort of end up asking someone who's not necessarily the person not the expert you would think they would ask, but they feel more comfortable asking the nurse when she's just like checking them out for hygiene. They'll be like, oh, what about the Invisalign Open Day? And if she sort of doesn't handle
I don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't know enough information to kind of basically give them good information, then that's like a missed bit of service. So everyone has to know.
I would say something which I know which works very, very well is if you're about to set up your open day and you've got your TCO and your doctors and your marketing people and your nurses and everybody involved, set up a WhatsApp group. So everybody knows exactly what stage you are. All right, we've got the brochures, we've got the banner, so everybody knows where you are, even if they're not really, they're only a very small part of it. They know how far, where you are, the costs, everything. Set up that WhatsApp group.
For the open.
And put all the information on there, even if it's all relevant to everybody.
Yeah, because there's all the build up detail. It's important they see the adverts they see, so they know exactly. They basically just hyper experts on the day. That's what the patient.
Really good little tip that one. Little bonus tip that. Set up the WhatsApp group for everybody. And put all your announcements and we've got the brochures, or this is the price, this is the the day, this is who's working on that day, so everybody's aware of everything. So if you do get a patient who goes, oh, about the open day, what day is it? What's the extras and what? Oh, here it is. Hang on. Even if you don't know, you can go, I'll just get it for you. Get up your WhatsApp and go, look, this is what it's going to be. And it's there already for you.
And on to number 7.
Prepare materials and technologies. More your sort of.
So Invisalign, being an example, is a great sort of system to have so many features that you're able to kind of work with. So essentially you want to make sure you're taking advantage of all their marketing material, because obviously you've got your practice stuff, but they're a multi-billion-pound company, so their marketing material is fantastic and they kind of allow you to use it. So you want to make sure you've got the brochures, they can supply you with like a sort of stand-up banner. You can create like an event table, which is what we do. So you've got then the leaflets, the information about the finance. You've got examples of the little typodonts, little models of the teeth, the examples of the aligners. So this all just cues off different lines of interest.
There's a little smile app as well, isn't there?
They've got a really good app. So you've got a little QR code in the waiting room with a little thing, so you can take a picture of that, and then you essentially take a selfie, and it'll give you a pretty accurate simulation of yourself with straight teeth. That's like really powerful.
Very powerful.
So they've spent a lot of money sort of developing lots of little tools that essentially they're like dying for you to like actually adopt and use, because they obviously spent a lot of money developing them, and they've research tested them. They know that patients like them. Otherwise they wouldn't have them out there sort of with them.
That's the thing. It sounds like another tip from a marketing point of view: get involved with your area rep. Definitely run it all by them, and they'll be able to, we'll send you. You can use this on the day. Well, for the open day, you can use a special scan they've got, or whatever it is.
So our rep's really helpful. He lets us use the Lumina scanner on the scanning day, because it's got extra features to communicate with the patient. So it's got the smile simulator software, so you can see yourself with.
Wow.
So you take the scan, take the photos, it's all there, and then it gives you like a simulation same day of you with your straight teeth, which is what
ultimately people want to see, isn't
it?
Done deal.
As dentists, we're all into looking at all the technicalities essentially from patients' point of view. It's like they're coming in to kind of see, that's what they want, the benefit of
course they do. They want to see
straight white teeth, and and that's great, and but that visual and that software that can do it instantly, that's a huge sort of benefit to them is like, oh, I can actually, because
I can visualize it.
You sort of as a dentist trying to wave your hands and sort of say, oh, it's going to be this and that doesn't really work the same. So yeah, I would say, yeah, really in-depth knowledge of all the tools and applications that the Invisalign has. Take advantage of all their leaflets, brochures, all those sort of things that you need to kind of order from them and set up in your practice, have available in like goodie bags and all this sort of hard material marketing. But then now we're onto the digital platforms, so you've got to take advantage of the scanners, the apps, really which really just enhances the patient journey and enhances the communication. Of essentially what you're the benefit you're trying to like offer people.
Use your tools. Use the tool. Use everything that's available to you. Marketing wise, it's like you know it's going to cost a lot to set this up. You've got training. You've got your adverts, everything else. So make use of everything.
Yeah, and that's the point. Probably the reason why we're going through all these 10 steps is like you want to. Retail is detail, as they say. It's like sort of classic expression, but essentially from our point of view, like when people are sort of coming to an event, it's a bit like you're going to an event, a wedding or whatever. It's like whenever every little detail is taken care of, then you're like, oh wow, that was like, it's a sort of, it's a show off of like quality and competence, and that's essentially then helps them have the confidence to be like, okay, now I want to go ahead with this clinic because they've kind of really shown that they can run this event properly.
Yes.
So it's like,
it's the trust factor.
It's every little point, but it's sort of like, oh, I don't really need that. But then it's like it all cumulatively adds up to this whole impression that you can run this whole thing seamlessly, and therefore going to run my treatment seamlessly. And that's essentially the sort of what you're trying to build up with all your patients all the time. But it's using every tool that Invisalign has is quite a sensible thing to do because, as I say, they've got a whole team. So we're a marketing team, but they've got a global business which has all these all these applications to take advantage. So that's preparing your materials and using your technology is kind of key. So we're on to
number 8. Create a welcoming atmosphere, which sort of goes on from what we were just talking about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's again just sort of every little point, but we've got a couple of things. So you want to sort of welcome them, and say the receptionist has to have the sort of has that real smiley sort of welcome. Here we are, sit down. We'd like a drink. We've got cold drinks in the fridge. Would like one? Cup of tea or bottle of water. This sort of thing. Sort of hosting people like they're at an event rather than sort of day to day. They should sort of feel it's exciting. They're kind of booked to come in, etc. So. Get that wow factor across with the kind of
balloons, maybe.
Sort of that sort of stuff. So they
pull out all the stops.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got like I say the atmosphere with it's a lot of it's obviously your team and like making sure that you've chosen friendly, nice people in your team that kind of can sort of host and be sort of hospitable. But through the whole experience of the day, it should have that sort of wow factor.
Plenty of Invisalign branding up, so they're immersed in the whole event.
You can't really have enough, if that makes sense, because imagine you're going to an event. It's just there should be sort of sparkles everywhere. It's just there.
Special.
Your practice, unless you can't solely do one thing in dentistry, but if your practice is a general practice, then but on that day it's an Invisalign. It's an open day, so it's all about that. So the more branding you can have everywhere of that treatment, the better. So take advantage of all that. And I think from the dentist point of view, you're just trying to communicate what you do really well and get it across. So it's just feeding that enthusiasm for what you do across as well, because you're kind of hopefully excited to be doing what you do and get that across to them that this is kind of exciting.
I know even when I've had my Invisalign done with yourself here, it's a journey. Every step of the journey, I felt like, this is, I'm buzzing for the next step because, this is what you're going to look like, and these are the costs. And it's like, and now it's done. It's like it feels like it was a really good experience.
Which is what you're trying to create for everyone who comes in. It's like the aim.
And you've got to remember also, it's like.
But these are new people, so you also have to create that but even more because like they could be going anywhere. So you want to sort of make sure that they
Make it
feel
special.
really welcome, really special. That this is like the start.
It's all about them for the day, isn't it?
And they got to commit a lot of costs, a lot of time, a lot of involvement. So they really need to feel like this is the right fit for them. So that's it all comes from like being welcoming, but it's the whole package. So it's not, and you got to be careful because like what you'll have multiple people involved, so they're like being handled by multiple people. So it's important that everyone in that journey, like the four interactions they have, are all good. Because if it's just one bad one, so I didn't really like that bit of it. Like that's so you have to be really careful with your kind of your service, etc.
Number 9, which is I think very, very important as well, is follow up quickly. Now, you've taken their deposit on the day, but follow up email about taking their deposit, about their journey, about their first appointment. Call them up, not just email them, call them as well. Get your TCO or receptionist or whoever it is who deals with that type of thing. From that, make them feel special. Make them feel special going forward. Like, we've got your date. We're looking forward to seeing you. There's your date. Booking them in. There's the receipt your deposit. There's a payment plan. There's put it all there. Within the next day or
really next day or like on that Monday.
Definitely.
Essentially, you've had this big event, but the whole purpose of the event is obviously to start a whole load of activity.
Yes.
So you need to be prepared. Also, your team needs to be kind of ready that the event's one bit of work, but the intention of that is to generate a whole load of other work. So they need to be sort of ready for that week after to be super busy.
Yes, because you will get, which is a very important point, is you will get, like it says on our list, is address any remaining concerns promptly.
Yeah.
And you will get people on the day, I'll sign up for that, and then it's like, I've just got a question. How about, is it going to be, addressed, say to them, have you got any concerns? Do you want us to go through this again with you? Push them down that funnel, make them feel part of the family, make them feel, that they've made the right decision.
Exactly, yeah. So they've already say got to that stage, and then it's also just letting them know that stuff is happening. Because you take the deposits, you're then going to submit all their records and get their clean checks. There's a whole sort of sequence then that is kind of activated by starting. But it's like keeping in touch, keeping that excitement going, letting them know that stuff is happening. That haven't that.
Well, also you can have that fact of like, they've been to the open day, you've given them all the information, then they've gone home, they've spoken to their friends or family, and the family might have a question. Oh yeah, but how about that then? Is that over 12 months or 24 months? So, they're going to have questions.
Yeah, so you've got to be
address them as soon as you can. You make the move of getting in touch with them. Don't wait for them to be in contact with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even though you're taking a deposit, there's still a lot of work to be done making that deal over the line.
Yeah, because essentially the way we structure it, you take a sort of booking deposit, and then on the day you sort of take a sort of second deposit to kind of take advantage of the offer or secure the offer, which is like non-refundable, and then they submit for the clean checks, like the sort of custom-made digital plans. So that means you've got like a lot of work to submit, potentially 20, 30 cases, and then working on all those. So you need to be making sure that you've got like you can handle the volume that you're. This is obviously like some people don't plan for this. They sort of like have an event and then suddenly they're like too busy. It's like, well, I haven't got diary availability for like 3 weeks. It's like, well, that's not gonna. Then people start getting upset that you haven't structured it all correctly. But so your team has to be following up, but your dentist also has to be working hard to actually deliver all that. New patient or new work. And then we've got it sort of goes full circle, I guess. So you sort of had your successful event, and then number 10 is track your results and learn from the experience.
Because if you want to make this a success, you're going to be, you won't just run one Invisalign Open day. If it's good, successful, you're going to be wanting to run another one. So you need to measure conversions, attendance, revenue, and feedback. So everything that's gone in the day, make a record of it. Ready to put that into practice for your next open day or for your offer which is running. There might be something from the open day you go, actually, we can add that into the offer, or take that out of your normal offer and push that into the open day to make it even more attractive. You should be evolving your offer and your open day.
And you obviously need to you can't sort of change it, certain things are sort of, it is what it is, but you want to sort of make sure that you're refreshing the offer every open day, so it's not just the same as last time. So you've got to learn a little bit every, say, quarter what you're going to do next time to make it, better next time.
Yeah, because you're bound to have people who came to that open day who didn't sign up on the day.
Yeah.
And then if you've got the same offer again, it's like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. I don't need to go. Or if you've got something, it might be the same offer but packaged differently.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, something new. I'll go to that one, and you might get them to sign up there and then on that day for just a little tweak of the offer.
Yeah, so this is more like sort of the marketing angle, which is as dentists we don't necessarily fully understand, but it's essentially just by restructuring essentially similar things, but in a new layout, new format. Like it's enough to kind of get people interested again. But
like it says here, debrief with your team to identify what works and what didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's a really important point, I think. Not just what worked, but what didn't work.
Yeah.
Amongst your team, because they're out there doing it, and they can give you the feedback of like, well, that no one's really interested in having that extra.
Yeah,
so we can, it might be take that out and put that on this, or
you might be including something in the offer, which like a free giveaway thing, which actually patients don't like, or they don't think it's like.
Or on the other hand, you might get someone say, "I really like this. Is why I'm here for this particular thing." So you can, that type of thing.
And then I guess from like a sort of like business point of view, you've got you want to reflect on how many cases did you actually generate out of it, because that's like key, and then you've got like your ad spend, so like how much did you spend on sort of advertising the event, and so how much did you spend on your staff, like all these sort of things, how much did the event actually cost, and how much
what's your ROI?
Yeah, so having a sort of numbers reflection on that is important, and you kind of want to sort of structure it so that it's worth doing. I think in my experience, I've never been involved in an open day that hasn't been worth doing, because it just is kind of a useful.
I mean, there's something else to think about. Also, is like on the open at Invisalign, you might get someone say, "Oh, composite bonding might be more for what I need," or I need an implant, or so.
I mean that's the nature of what we do. So they might. Once you start talking.
I thought I'd need Invisalign, but actually come to the open day and find out a bit more. Actually, I'd need a couple of implants.
Yeah,
or whatever procedure.
That's the slightly, complex environment of dentistry, is that obviously that you kind of try and match up what people need and what what's the best outcome for them, but they might sort of think this is what I need, but actually it's a lot more complicated. They might need a lot more, but then that's fine. If you're a multi-service clinic, then
then they've got the information, and they've
got all their information, and it might be
they built a trust with you.
They do this part now, and they add in to create the full picture. I mean, that's what we do all the time. But it's that's great. That's kind of means that you've kind of helped them with all aspects of the industry. But that's that is part of reflecting on it. Is like working out, well, how many results do we get, and how much do they cost, and basically can we afford to do this again, and how often are we going to do it. I think we sort of structure it like once a quarter is
once a quarter. Have your offer running for the 3 months, but like we said, stop it about a month out, and then have your open day. So once every quarter. I would say once every quarter works really well, or can work very well. It's all dependent on your area and your makeup, isn't it?
And if you're a clinic that does other things, and you can actually do sort of open days on multiple different treatments.
You can have an implant open day.
You can have a composite
whitening.
Even a whitening open day would work. So you could have one all the time if you want, but it's just have you got the organisation and sort of ability to manage all that. But
you can have too many, can't you?
You don't want too many, because otherwise it's not a special event. So if you say had an open day on every type of treatment you do, then that's just going to get sort of confusing from a sort of in-house point of view and also patient point of view. But once a quarter seems like quite a good evergreen type activity. I used to, before I owned my own clinic, I used to kind of wonder why people kept having them. I sort of was like, well, surely the patients get bored of them, or they're like, they're not. Why do they keep doing it? But it's actually just a very effective way of having an event, getting everyone focused on it, like the team and the patients, like get people started, and doing it once a quarter is quite good Invisalign because you have a lot of activity, and then that's that bunch started, and then you work up to the next open day. So sort of from running a clinic point of view, it actually works well as well. Because you're sort of once a quarter having sort of cohorts of people starting, quite a work heavy, dense.
Once a quarter's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just seems to be for.
It's about the sort of, and as people organise their lives, like once a quarter is about sort of the time frame that people operate on these sort of things. They sort of come where they want it. Okay,
well, it's the season, isn't it? Summer, winter, spring, autumn, really.
So it's like just depends when
isn't it?
When
and you can build that offer around that, can't you?
So from a marketing angle, you can sort of make it a seasonal event. So you can have like your New Year's open day, you have your summer's open, spring open day, summer's one, and autumn one. So it's sort of good from a sort of, can work around that in terms of how you do it.
The most important thing to take from this last one, track results and learn, is use insights to improve your next open day.
Yeah.
Like we said, really delve into what's worked, what hasn't worked, and then move that forward. Use that for your next open day, whether it be for Invisalign or, like you said, whatever your open day is.
Yeah, and you should always be. I mean, as a small business, that's like a key activity anyway. It's just sort of self-reflective learning. Look at yourself, look at your team, look at your performance of your clinic, and essentially you're trying to enhance it all the time. So it's sort of take those points and sort of actually make sure you implement the actions of make it better next time, and then you just keep doing that, and you'll sort of get better and better. And that's what you want. Just want to have like these events happening and be successful, and then you've got a formula that you can sort of repeat and sort of help people with it. So
I hope you've enjoyed those 10 tips or procedures or what you need to cover for your open day, Invisalign open day. Don't worry about pausing it and writing them down. If you message us, we will send you a copy of this, so you'll have it down in a document that you can use from. Any comments down below, any questions, please put down below. Like and share, subscribe, and myself and Dr. Murray will see you for the next one.
Next podcast.
Thank you very much.